So I have the pride of Vancouver, BC, the Food Network, Punk Rock Pastries, and the Goddess of Tattoos, Chef Hollie. How was
Hi,
that?
how you going?
How was that intro for you? Did you like that?
That was a pretty nice intro. Can you come do that for me every day when I walk
Um,
through the bakery doors?
when you wake up in the morning, we'll just greet you that way when you come down in the kitchen.
That would be so lovely.
So for those who don't watch okay, by the way, the gym I go to, they have the Food Network on all the channels above the treadmill. I don't know what they're trying to do with that. It's like we're watching you guys make all this amazing food while we're trying to shred the pounds that we got from eating those amazing foods.
So they're making you drool a little bit as you run and you exercise and then
You got to get the gains so you can go and eat at Punk Rock Pastries. Is how it
yeah, that's
goes.
it. They're like just trying to make you keep going so you can come to the bakery, eat
And
all you want, and then back to the gym.
I have to congratulate you. You're my first Australian I've interviewed this year. So
Oh,
you're
amazing.
you're
Doing
welcome.
Australia proud.
You're welcoming the homeland properly here. So for those who don't know, can you tell us who Chef Hollie is in Punk Rock Pastries?
So I'm the owner of Punk Rock Pastries in Burnaby, BC. We're in Canada. And I'm an Aussie, obviously. I opened Punk Rock Pastries because one, I grew up with punk music. Punk is my life, the music, the style, the genre, everything. That's just me. Um, and I do a lot of really weird treats in store, but we do a lot of stuff for, punk bands and, the music industry here in Vancouver. We're a little bit weird, a little bit quirky, but a lot of fun.
And when did you open the pastry shop?
So we opened in 2019. We had a lot of troubles opening the store. It was like nightmare from hell. And then when we eventually did get to open, one of my most amazing, pretty much, idols cut the ribbon for us. So Joey Shithead from DOA.
Yes, DOA.
Yes, yes. So Joey or Joe Keithley is actually uh Burnaby Green Party leader here. So, good old politician here in Vancouver.
How did you get Joey Shithead to come cut the ribbon? Because that's pretty
Oh,
cool.
oh, it's the most like craziest thing. Me and my husband were at one of his concerts here in Vancouver, and we ended up getting to talk to him. And I told him what I'm doing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, reach out if you need anything." So we ended up reaching out to him and saying, "Hey, do you want to come cut the ribbon for me?"
Now I noticed when I haven't been to the shop yet. I haven't visited Vancouver, BC in a few years, but you guys have a lot of like punk rock memorabilia up and stuff like that. How do the locals take to that? Like just your regular normies who want to come in and just get a black and white cookie. How do they handle the punk rock pastry shop when they walk in?
So a lot of people are really intrigued by it when they walk in and that they don't really know where to look because there's like band posters and there's little figurines and there's stuff like everywhere. So they usually take, a good 15 minutes of their eyes just going trying to read everything and figure out what the hell's going on. But then, when you get to talking to them, some of them usually is like, oh yeah, I went to this concert back in the day, or oh, I know so and so from this band. And it's just it's kind of brought everyone together over love of music. And it's really amazing to hear the stories that, people from the community and from Vancouver and everywhere, like we have people drive up from Seattle just to come chat with us. It's so cool.
It's like the Canadian version of the punk rock museum, but with pastries.
Yeah.
We need Fat Mike to send you some stuff.
Well, I've sent him some stuff, so he's
Okay.
eaten my stuff before. So I think it's time for him to send me things.
We're going to start a petition now to get Fat Mike to, like it could be like the extension of the punk rock museum, just the Canadian version of it.
Yeah, that would be rad. We can just, we've got a whole building we could take over. Totally.
Let's go for it. Now,
Yeah.
what got you into becoming a chef? Because I used to pride myself on that I never cooked. And then all of a sudden I got into cooking and now I'm that annoying guy who wants to give people recipes and I'm not any good. How did you get into it? How did you get into becoming a chef and where did that all start?
Well, funny enough, I got thrown into the kitchen. I was a dishwasher when I was in high school, and one of the chefs didn't show up for his shift one day, so they put me on the line. No idea what the hell I was doing, so I apologize to anybody who was eating the food I was making that day. But I got the hang of it, and I really, started to really like it. I mean, I got to be there every weekend, and then the chef told me one day, "You should be a chef." And I was like, "Well, I don't know what else I'm going to do." And I used to hang out at my dad's bakery all the time. So I'm like, yeah, I like kitchens. So I just went for it.
What is your favorite thing to cook?
Oh God, that's always hard, but I really love making bread. But
Okay.
if it's on the savory side, I love making pastas, like making it from scratch. It's so satisfying making the dough, rolling it out, filling it, and then being able to eat this amazing product that you've just created.
Now, coming from a recovering fat guy, how are you not like, 500 pounds? We're making all this food. What's your
I've
secret?
learned I've learned how to have everything in moderation. I actually carry a spoon around with me in the kitchen, and when I need to taste something, I'll taste only like 1 tablespoon's worth. I won't taste anymore. Mostly because, my palate, I don't want to overwork my palate, but
Right.
I think it's all in moderation. But honestly, I have a donut every morning. I can't help myself.
I always said I could never be a cook at a restaurant because I would lick the spatula with the grease.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm single, chef. Because I say that on dates. So I see behind you there, you got passes for like Nine Inch Nails, Slipknot. The love of music obviously has
Yeah.
influenced. What got you into punk music?
So I think I listened to a lot of, rock music growing up, like AC/DC. My dad got me into that, Alice Cooper, all those things when I was little. But then I kind of found my own style or genre and that I liked. And I actually grew up in a lot of Australian bands like Frenzal Rhomb and Jebediah, Body Jar. And then it just kind of kept going from there. You go to school and someone's got the brand new CD of like Blink came out, and then Green Day, of course. And then I found NoFX, and Bad Religion was actually the one I was listening to the most.
Okay.
So it was like I'd walk around, I'd get a lot of weird looks with my Bad Religion hoodie on, and coming from like a small town, people were just like, "What the hell is she listening to on those headphones?" But yeah,
Well,
I just got into it. I loved it. I loved, what they were saying, letting out any feelings that they had. It really related to me being from a, small town in Australia.
right. Because Australia does love punk rock. Like they really
Yeah.
do embrace they do embrace it, even though Rancid hasn't been there in 30 years. So
Apparently they're going back, I heard. So
okay.
one of my friends messaged me and she's like, next time you're in Australia, maybe they'll be back. And I was like, well, maybe I'll make it at the same time.
I mean, it's been a minute since they've been there. So maybe they're coming because of you, because of
Oh,
all
that
the
would be lovely.
success we've had on the Food Network.
That would
You
be
know?
cool, to represent some Aussies and, get some more people over there. I think they haven't been back because the plane ride bloody sucks.
Yeah, it's not a great ride. It's not a
16 hours of sitting on your bum is not fun.
so the first time I flew to Australia, this was 7, 8 years ago. They announced that we now have Wi-Fi for the whole flight. People clapped. They
Yeah.
clapped. And then what do you think happened 10 minutes into the flight? We lost
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet for the entire time. Okay. So like you got 16 hours where you're just looking at the guy's head in front of you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how'd
It's
you
not fun.
so how many times have you been on the Food Network now?
So I've been on twice now. Was first on the first year I was on was 2019. I
Okay.
was on the Food Network Canada. We were on a show called The Big Bake, and we won that one. I don't know how, but we did because the cake fell. It was disgusting. It's the most horrible cake I've ever made in my life. But we won, underdog story. And then this year I got to actually do a massive show called the Halloween Baking
Oh,
Championship, and it was absolutely insane. It, went for 8 weeks. So my face was plastered everywhere on TV, and it's been a massive secret to hold that I actually won. So because we filmed in
Congratulations.
April. Thanks. Yeah, it's really weird. It's honestly, it's like hasn't sunk in yet. So I think, once, Halloween's just ended yesterday. So
Right,
I think when I go back to work tomorrow, it'll probably kick in.
right. So what did you win? What do you
I
guys
won
win?
25,000.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So
I haven't
dinner's
got
on
it yet.
you. So dinner's on you when I come to
Oh
Vancouver.
yeah, 100%. No worries.
Right
We'll go
on.
concert as well.
So what was the process of getting on the Food Network for this, for the Halloween Bake Off?
So they actually found me. They found me on Instagram and then they rang the bakery and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go on this show?" And I'm like, okay, like no worries. And then I did a quick little interview with them, and then it was like, I don't know, 6 weeks later, and I was in Australia visiting my family for Christmas, and I heard that I was going on the show when I was back there, and I was just like, oh, okay. So by the time I came home, I had 2 weeks with my family, and then I was on a flight to LA. So it was just like, oh, okay, I've just got on holiday. Now I'm gonna go away again. Sorry, guys.
So you guys did 8 episodes of it?
Yeah, 8 episodes. Yeah.
And they're 30-minute episodes, right? Was it 30?
I think the first one was like 2 hours.
Oh,
And
really?
then yeah, and then there was like it depends on the editing, I guess, but it goes for like an hour every time or
Okay.
an hour and a half.
So
Yeah.
so how long would you guys film for that 1 hour episode?
Oh God. So with the time that they tell you on the show, like if you've got an hour and a half, you've actually got an hour and a half. There's a clock when it goes off. They say that's it, no more.
Right.
But we were at like we were filming for around 16 hour day, like 16 hours a day. It was horrible.
Wow.
That part's not fun,
Wow.
but everyone there became a massive family and they're so lovely. Like the cast, the crew, the judges, like everyone. I became really good friends with my camera guy. They were all amazing people, and now like I still talk to him like till this day.
Gee, so when was the filming for that? How long, what was the
We
lead time?
so we filmed in April. Well, we started at the end of March, and I ended up getting home at the end of April.
And you got to be in the
So it was,
Halloween spirit in April.
yeah, it was a little bit hard, honestly. We
It's like
actually filmed, yeah, we filmed over Easter weekend, so it was really, it was weird.
it's like when you got to make a Christmas album, you're doing it in like June.
Oh my God,
You're
that was
trying to get in the Christmas spirit while it's 100 degrees outside. So,
well, we do stuff for film, so we have to do Hallmark stuff in like June when it's so hot and it's horrible. Making gingerbread that time of year, I do not like that.
so have you seen, since the show has aired twice now, two different shows, have you seen a lot of people like foot traffic just coming in because you were on the Food Network?
Oh, it's been absolutely insane. Like we were a little bit worried in summer we were going to close down because we were so dead. It was weird, but since the show started, it's like a daily, like people just come in, I saw you on my TV. I saw you on my TV. The weirdest thing is when you go grocery shopping and people stop you to say that they've seen you on TV. It's like, okay, and then they want photos with you and I'm like, I'm doing my grocery shopping, but okay.
Right. Well, I want to say to my audience, because some of them are weirdos. Do not stalk her if you see her, please, because then like, hey, I saw your interview with Matt. So, I noticed on the website you guys don't so my audience can't have you bake a cake and you ship it out, right? You don't
You
do that.
know, yeah. So we tried this. It doesn't work. The cake ended up being the flattest package probably UPS and that have ever shipped. It was horrible. So yeah, we can't ship cakes, but we can ship like cookies and brownies and stuff like that. And we do custom stuff. So like, if you want your band logo or if you want, your favorite musician or someone on a cookie, we can actually pipe their head on there or print their head on there and then you can actually eat them.
And you can go to punkrockpastries.com if they want
Yeah.
to, like if a band wants cakes or cookies, sorry, not cakes,
Yeah.
cookies. And
Yeah.
so then
Or they can
if I want you for like my birthday party or if I ever get married, I just got to bring you to Nashville. right? Nashville,
Oh yeah,
Tennessee.
no worries. I've
Okay.
got friends in Nashville. I'll be there in a second. No
Well,
worries.
let's, okay. Well, now I need to have a birthday or a wedding or something like that to hire you.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we recently just got a new tattoo. I saw that on your Insta. By the way,
Good.
kudos. You do a great job on Instagram. I might have you just run mine. Okay. Cause like I feel like I don't post anything and then I post something. I'm like, nobody cares, but I know you have to do it for the algorithm. You
Yeah.
are legit on it. Like you do a great job.
I
Okay. So,
try. I'm really bad at technology, so for me to actually do that and you just say that, that's great. Means I'm doing something right.
I mean, when I'm getting shown up by Reb from the Drowns, because he posts more than me, and that's a problem. But you got a new tattoo the other day, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Halloween one.
I did. Yeah. So I made a bet with John Henson, the host of the show, and I, funny enough, made it on TV that if I won, I'd get his name tattooed on me. So I did have to, like, go and get it actually done.
And,
So no.
and your husband's name is what? Can he go
Oh
by
no, my
John?
husband. No, no, my dad's name is John, so we're okay.
Okay, all right, there we go. You just got some random. It's like those
Just
couples who get really like I got
yeah,
my girlfriend's name tattooed, and then they break up, and Susie's still like on their arm or something.
yeah. I figured this would be okay because if it, it's my dad, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, just yeah, I'm a good daughter. So I do have how many tattoos? Do you know how many tattoos you have right now? Have we
Oh
counted?
no, I've lost count.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm covered. It's just lots.
The other day I had Rev on. We talked about the new Drown single Blacked Out, and Rev's got skull tattoos. And I forgot to ask him, so I'm going to ask you because I just recently got I got a new one. And you got to,
Nice.
you got to put the cream on it. You got to wrap it up. You have not lived until you've had to saran wrap your arm before you go to bed
Yeah.
at night. How do you do it with your head?
Oh, so it's the most funniest thing because I look like I had a head wound for a while. I had it saran wrapped and like moisturized and that for just a couple of days because working in the kitchen is really hot as well.
Right.
And then I just had to take it off and just live with it. And it was actually pretty fine. The scalp healed really well. And I didn't lose any color, it didn't bleed out. It was great. So I've got to go back and finish getting the other side. You can't really see it because I need a haircut. But I've got to go back and get this side done and continue it all the way around. But my artist is like, she loves me. She thinks I'm nuts because I sit on the table and I'm just like, yep, I'm good.
Yeah. So okay, you got to walk me through the I feel like such a normie right now who doesn't have tattoos because I got to ask you about this. So we saran wrap our head?
Yeah. So what I did is I had it like up here and I got the saran wrap and I pulled it around almost like I was tying up my hair and then I put a hat on.
All right. And now does the husband have any tattoos? Are we
He is fully covered. He only has his palms of his hands left, the soles of his feet left, and the top of his head.
he doesn't have any face tattoos?
He doesn't have face tattoos. No, his neck and like sides, his head, side of his heads are done. Arms, hands, everything. He's covered.
So between the two of you, you guys have paid for the beach house for your tattoo artist, right?
Pretty
The
much.
vacation home.
Yeah.
I'm just like saran wrap your head and then you're like, all right, honey, let's go to bed. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how you do that. I was going to ask Rev and I totally forgot.
It's a lot of fun.
And I mean, I get it from just arm tattoos. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine the conversations you have with people who want to talk to you about your ink.
I actually forget that I've got it. So like when I saw myself on the Food Network, I was like, oh, I do have a lot of tattoos. I was like, wow. But yeah, I always get the weird looks, when you're walking down the street and people are like, oh, kind of thing. And then they talk to me and they realize I'm, crazy but nice. But yeah, people always want to talk to me about my tattoos. They're like, oh, did that hurt? Or what does that mean? And I was like, it's meant so I wanted a tattoo. It's
Right.
like,
Now, like for me, like I have kids, I have a 7 and a 10-year-old,
yeah,
and you'll go to like the parent teacher meetings at the school.
yeah.
Okay. And you got some guy who looks at me like I'm a freak, but he's the one with just a tribal tattoo on his arm. And it's like, you think I'm the freak. How do parents, how do like, like other people that don't have any, the uptight people, how do they take to this?
Honestly, I every time I go to pick my kid up from school, he's 7, and the parents don't really talk to me much. They kind of stay away from me. There's a few that do talk to me, and they're pretty cool, but they've only started talking to me since the show aired.
Oh, of course.
So,
Of course.
so
Yeah.
they're like, oh, guilty by association kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Now you're
yeah,
not a criminal. Now you're a
yeah.
celebrity. Right.
Yeah. So, like going to a parent teacher meeting, me and my husband went to one actually last week, and it was definitely quite interesting. You're sitting down with my son's teacher, and me and my husband are both there, all the tattoos showing, and, just trying to talk about our kid like we're just,
Right.
it's just, but the teacher just, she just can't stop looking, and you can just tell she's looking. That she looks at her arms, and then she looks at her head. Then she's like, like by the end of it, she's asking us about tattoos and how much they hurt, and what was the latest one, and where do we get them done? And I think we've convinced his teacher to go get a tattoo. So
Hey, I met a girl just the other day. She's like, "Oh, I got a tattoo," and she had this tiny little cross, like right here. And I'm like, "Well, there you go. All right, that's how it
yeah.
begins, I guess." So back home in Australia, are you like, are you a big deal because you've done the Food Network now, and like, are you in the newspaper back home in Australia?
No one even knows about me back home. It's
Really?
great. Yeah, that's
It's
the one place
great.
I can probably go and nobody knows me. No, like my family's super excited, and of course they've all spread the news around. But yeah, it doesn't air on TV there for like another 2 years. So maybe in 2 years I'll be a little bit more famous over there, but
two
not really.
years. two
Yeah, it's
years.
weird contract thing with the Food
Oh,
Network.
okay.
So I
Okay.
guess there's, Food Network Australia or whatever, they have to get the contracts to do it. Not 100% sure. But yeah, the 2019 episode hasn't even aired there yet. So I don't even know if it will.
So for those in Australia watching this interview, spoiler alert, in 2 years
Yeah, yeah. The
when it
2 years.
comes.
Yeah.
I asked my veterinarian this. I've asked cops this. Like, I asked the veterinarian, like, do you watch like dog shows on Animal Planet? Or you ask cops, like, do you watch cop shows? Do
Yeah.
you watch other food shows? Like, do you watch?
Oh,
Do you,
100%.
do you really? What is
Yeah,
some of your
I actually
favorite?
I actually really love watching Bobby Flay.
Okay.
The newest show that they've got, Beat Bobby Flay, because I love seeing all the chefs that, I know, or like I've, been following their career over the years, go on there and then actually do beat him or make these amazing creations. It's good, and I get some good recipes from it. I
Now,
think that's the one thing I love.
because you're in the Food Network Rolodex, are you now open? Like, will they call you to do other shows now because you won?
I really hope so. Like I really, really, really hope so. Like I'm aiming for them to go, hey, we need some new blood on the Food Network. You want to come hang out with us? So I'll be like, yeah.
And as for like Punk Rock Pastries, do you guys plan on opening more locations down the road? Is that a goal?
I think just the one location, honestly, opening a small business is the most goddamn hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yes. Yes.
It is crazy. It's like you've got to devote, everything you've got into it. And having a kid and a family, it's so hard to juggle both. But I've like just got my staff to the point where they're good. I can have a day off like I'm having today, and they can, get everything ready, run the store, do that. So you never know. But I think a food truck would be cool because then I could drive it anywhere.
There you go. You come across the border, go back and forth from
Yeah.
go to each Vancouver. Just a few more questions because
No,
I'm very
okay.
I love talking to artists. It's like, okay, we got a new album out. Like, it's cool, like I'll talk about it. But this is like I'm very interested because this is something I don't know.
Ooh,
So
food.
just the whole like camera thing, food, because I love food. I looked in some when I think it was like 4 months ago when I hit you up about doing an interview.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, And you're like, hold tight. And I didn't know why, but now I do because
Yeah.
you're a winner. Like you've
Yeah.
always been a winner, Chef Hollie, but now the Food Network agrees with everybody that you're a winner. But how has it just kind of like what is, because people want to get on reality shows and they want to do all this. What was the one thing, even with the first show you did, that you were like, I'm going to go in, this is going to happen, but in reality, it was like almost like, okay, I've been wrong. Like, what advice can you give for those aspiring reality stars?
Whatever the hell you think it's going to be, it's 10 times worse. Honestly, like, you see them like on the cooking shows and stuff, and they're having trouble with the ovens. They're
Right,
having trouble with the fridges. Their stuff is falling. You've got to think about the heat in that kitchen. They've got all the lights on you. You've got, not just the contestants that are in the kitchen. You've got, cameramen, producers, mic guys, everything like that. They're all in the kitchen with you. And you've got about 12 ovens. I think we ended up having, like, there was 20 something ovens in that kitchen going, and it was bloody hot and it was horrible, and you're filming constantly. It's like a great experience. Your adrenaline will just go, 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 go. But
right,
you just got to remember, just you're there to have fun and do what you do best. That's why they've picked you out of thousands of people to go on these shows.
right.
um Go on there, have fun, be yourself, don't have a care in the world. That's exactly what I did, and I was like, whatever.
So I noticed the tickets in the back. Greatest concert you've been to.
Oh God. I'm gonna have to say Social Distortion in
Okay.
Seattle. Yeah.
Okay.
We actually ended up taking our son. He was 9 months old, and big headphones on him and
Right.
everything. And we took him, and it was amazing. Mike Ness, he looked at us and he was like, "Wow, there's a kid here." But yeah, it was just, great to be there and to experience that. We've actually seen him a few times. They came here and they played with Rancid as well, and we saw them here in Vancouver. But yeah, definitely just that night, there was something about it. Being in Seattle, it was just perfect.
Right. What about what is the Vancouver, BC music scene like?
There's some pretty awesome like punk bands here. Like there's a band, they're actually one of my favorites at the moment. And they're called Blackwood Renegade,
Okay.
and they're awesome. They're amazing. Really like Blink Green Day mix.
Okay.
There's like You Big Idiot. They're so good.
Yep.
There's a lot of like, every week there's a lot of new punk bands coming out, and it's just awesome to go to these dingy little venues again, and just you don't ever want to go to the bathrooms in them. It's quite disgusting, but it's good to see that the music is still going, and that it's not the same four riffs over and over again.
Right. When did you open the Punk Rock Pastry again?
We're in 2019.
So how did the pandemic affect you guys? I thought you said 2019. It's like, how was that for you guys?
So we opened 10 months before it hit, and it bloody sucked. We we had to close the shop front down because of all the regulations and stuff. And I ended up closing the store for like a week. And then I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't stay home. I need to do something. Like, I've just worked my ass off to get this business open. What the fuck can I do? So I ended up hiring all of my friends that had lost their jobs and opened up delivery. And
Okay.
we actually expanded like our customer base. It was huge. And then we had made a few friends with cakes that we had done before the pandemic hit. So we did a massive cake order for Microsoft, and it was for one of their game launches. And the people at Microsoft contacted me, and they're like, "Hey, we want to do something for our employees. There's 250 of them here in Vancouver. How about we do, a 6-pack of cupcakes for all of them? And can you deliver?" And I
Oh,
was just like,
jeez.
so it took me and 20 of my friends to deliver. I can't even remember how many it was. It was so many cupcakes. But it was like in the like dead of heat as well. So in summer.
Right.
So driving around with these cupcakes in the car in summer, and it was fun. I think it took us like 4 days to deliver all of them.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it was nuts. And we were going like everywhere, like, a couple of hours away to just deliver one. And then it was nuts.
And with
But
with cupcakes.
with cupcakes, yeah.
Driving
But
all
they
around
kept us
BC.
going. Yeah, but they kept us going, and everyone in the area, like all the amazing like people around us, they were like, well, we can't see this small business close, so they supported us. And I would work from midnight to pretty much 2 p.m. the next day, that day, and then just baking and getting all these orders ready. People would do the pickup, and then I'd go home, sleep for a couple of hours, and I'd go back and do it again. And that's what kept us going all through the pandemic. And when we eventually got to open the store again, it was just like, I don't know, the gates of heaven opened up, and it was like,
Right.
oh.
So lastly, if you go to your website, can you buy like merchandise from you guys? Can you buy the shirt that you're wearing and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can buy Punk Rock Pastries merch. We have shirts, we have bags, we've got mugs, we've got stickers. Yeah, and if anybody wants my autograph, you can have that too.
Just buy a shirt and ask for an autograph. She'll put it on a piece of paper.
I'll just take a selfie, print it out, and be like,
For additional $10, all right? Because paper costs money.
paper is expensive these days.
So lastly, my last question for you before I want you to, then you can take over and you can give your links or whatever. What are you listening to these days?
Oh, what's in my car at the moment?
Have you heard
What
the
is
new
in my car?
Drowns? Have you heard Blacked Out yet? Have you heard
No, I haven't. No.
the Drowns are happy. They're happy now.
Yeah.
They're
They're
happy.
happy?
They're happy.
Oh, I'm gonna have to get on that.
Rev
No, I
is
think
happy.
no, I think that the last thing that was in my car was actually Rise Against.
Okay.
So, but yeah, but it was like I think one of their first albums, because
Okay.
I'm that person that's still got the CD binder and has all of the CDs.
Oh, you got the booklet of CDs.
Yeah, and it doesn't close. I'm still one of those people. I'm still shuffling through at the lights trying to find a new CD to listen to. Like my car's good, but it's not that good.
Last year, I went to a festival. I got my kids, they each got an autographed CD from a band, and I brought it home, and I was going to be super dad for them. I'm like, hey guys, look what dad got you. I handed them the CD, and my daughter at the time, she would have been 8. She looked at it and she was like, what is this? And she's like turning the CD around and she's like, it's so shiny. What is this? And I said, that's all the music on there. And she was like, oh, so it's like Alexa? And I was like,
Oh my God.
I'm so old. I'm old at this point. Like, she don't even know what a CD is.
Oh no.
So I just think of like her with the CD booklet. Like, she wouldn't know what was like, look at all the mirrors, you know?
Oh man. I feel like the new generation coming up, they've missed out on so much.
They've missed out on a scratch CD in the car. When you want to hear the song and the CD is scratched and you can't listen to it.
Or trying to put, your portable CD player and you're trying to hook it up into the tape deck. That was friggin' the worst thing ever. You go over a speed bump and it's gone.
Well, it's like the memes that are on Instagram. Like they say, like, oh, people are distracted driving now. And you got this, and then you see the picture, they got the CD booklet, the MapQuest paper with the directions. Like,
I don't know how we survived, honestly.
Without killing somebody or ourselves while we're driving.
Yeah, like trying to find the right CD or like trying to find the place on the map. But I still can't read maps.
No. So what do you guys have coming up for Punk Rock Pastry? And by the way, have you ever thought about going to Vegas for Punk Rock Bowling? You could do Punk Rock Bowling with Punk Rock Pastries.
We have thought about doing that. I got contacted a while ago about going and doing a pop-up there kind of thing. And then we were just either too busy or short-staffed or something, and I couldn't do it. But yeah, I would love to do that. That would be so amazing. It would be something that would just be killer. But yeah, no, we don't have much going on at the moment. Like we've just gotten over our busiest season, so now we're
Mhm.
getting into gingerbread hell, because like it's every year gingerbread hell. It's horrible. The girls have probably started today, so the bakery's going to smell like cinnamon. Um, it's
Does
not a
the
bad thing, but ugh.
does the gingerbread men have like face tattoos or mohawks or anything? Are we doing anything unique, or is it just your
Yeah,
traditional?
no, they do. We've got so we're going on naughty side to Punk Rock Pastries,
I
and we have
saw.
like yeah, so we have all like our kink gingerbread men, and then we've got our punk gingerbread men. We also have Krampus stuff. So we get
Okay.
really into the Krampus, which is really fun and scary for the kids.
I will say you are such a great designer of your pastries that I was blushing looking at what you can get for a bachelorette party because it was very accurate. I'll say it that way. So I was like, I just kind of like paused at it and I was like, wow, she is very talented. So you can get cookies and stuff like that for your bachelor party, and you can make Matt and
Yeah.
your grandma cringe, apparently.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. We do Christmas ones too.
How
So, yeah,
how
very.
how 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 how
So, well, we do penises that look like reindeers. And
how did
like,
you, Chef Hollie? How'd you come up with that?
I'm bored a lot of the time. Me and the girls, we just sit down. We have like this weird bonding thing. And I'm like, what the hell can we do? What is weird? What can we turn that's Christmassy? And we just go through all of the weird scenarios that we can do. And then I'll draw out the cutters and then I actually print them off on my 3D printer. So then they're all, custom by us kind of thing. But our brains, like if you've seen Super Bad, right? Where he's
Yes.
got a book, a drawing, and it's full of dicks. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
me.
How long does the process take from y'all sitting down and coming up with penis reindeer cookies to the time that they're actually on the shelf to sell? How long is that process?
It's usually about a 2-week turnaround. So it'll take me a few days to design the cutter, a couple of days to print the cutter. And then we go through, cutting them out, and then we go through our decorating process. So me and my manager sit down, and we kind of draw on the cookies first to
Okay.
work out how we're going to do it. So we get a design idea, and then we do another one where we start designing it and actually trying it out. And it takes like, I'm going to say 3 or 4 for them to look good. So the first ones we just eat, and then the next ones start going on the shelf.
So here's what you do in closing. Next parent teacher meeting, bring the special reindeer cookies for the teacher.
Oh, they'll love me.
Hey, you know what? We're already branching out. She's going to get her first tattoo. The cookies are next, right?
Oh
Right?
yeah. Well, it's funny enough that they do order stuff from us, but it's not the naughty stuff. We
Yeah,
do
yeah.
non-naughty stuff, but yeah, we do a whole bunch of stuff for the school and teacher appreciation day and things like that. So,
I'm, t-
it still gets the word out.
I'm telling you, slip the teacher just her own special box of cookies.
She'll get a special basket this year.
So how can people get in contact with you or look at all of your creations, or maybe if Chef Ramsay's watching, because I know he's a big fan of my interviews and he wants to bring you on Hell's Kitchen, how can they find you?
So you can find me on Instagram under Chef Hollie Fraser or Punk Rock Pastries, or you can head to our website www.punkrockpastries.com, and hit us up there.
All right, Chef Hollie, thank you. And when you win another show on the Food Network, I'm going to bring you back so we can talk more about penis reindeers.
Please do. Next time there'll be penis snowmen.
So, hey, next Christmas, guys. Here we go. Thank you for your
Awesome.
time.
Thanks, mate. See ya.